All right, guys, old school is back again with another strong topic. And this topic is going to be why are so many teachers leaving in mass droves from teaching your little lustrous kids? Well, we're going to find out. And if you hang around to the last video, you're going to be totally shocked because it's good. These teachers, first of all, I'm putting the intro up front because I do not want to interrupt any of these clips. I want you to hear it straight from the teachers' mouths, how they are fed up with teaching in general. Most of you guys know the background I have in law enforcement. I could never, ever be a teacher. That's why I chose to be a cop. I've seen some of the things these teachers have to put up with. And before we get started, I want to first of all say, all kids aren't bad. By no means. There are a lot of good kids and a lot of good parents that are teaching and trying their best to teach their kids the right way to thrive in life. And on the flip side, there are a lot of parents that should have never had kids because what they're doing, they're teaching their kids their same traits that they have, which are a lot of times extremely negative. They don't discipline their kids. They send their kids to school to be so that they can have a babysitter for 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is. And most of them just flat out don't care. They want to be their children's friend instead of guiding them through life. If you notice, the background I have on this video is flashing lights. Police officers, police car flashing lights on the pavement. And I did that for a specific reason. Because in my journey through law enforcement, I've seen a lot of kids go through juvenile, and when they got of age, they became adult criminals with spin numbers. And it's totally a shame. But this is what we've come to, folks. These teachers have had it. Law enforcement is going to be around till the end of time because there's plenty of individuals that are going to wind up with spin numbers, and they start off in the home. Old school don't mince words. I'm trying to teach you. Some of you are unteachable of what's about to happen with your kids. Teachers are not babysitters. They're there to try to educate you and your children. And if they don't get that cooperation, then what's the use? Yes, you have some bad teachers, but you have more good teachers than bad teachers that are calling it quits. Now, what are you going to do as far as education? And then you have a new tool on the market today, which some of these teachers are going to describe, called AI, artificial intelligence, which is doing all of your children's or your child's work for them, which tells you right off the bat, they're not getting no education whatsoever. Why? Do the research as far as learning how to do things when you can push a couple of buttons, type in a question, and there's your detailed answer. So that's going to be another major problem that we're having right now. Teachers are afraid of these kids. Why? Because they have no backup whatsoever. Administrators are afraid to do anything with these kids because they're afraid of lawsuits. Parents don't want to take the advice of qualified teachers as far as what's going on with their children. So when you try to be your child's friend, what do you think? Where do you think that parent's going to go? He's not going to listen to that teacher. He's going to listen to his kid that they taught to be like that to begin with. Help me to make that make sense. Cell phones That's another topic. Cell phones should never, ever be in a classroom. Most of y'all can remember, like I can, when we never had cell phones. So we didn't have that problem. So why is it a problem now? Tell me that. Why is it a problem now? These kids been scrolling through their cell phones, playing games, and doing everything they can to be very distractive in that classroom. I flat out don't get it. And then let's talk about a few teachers, let's talk about parents that don't attend parent-teachers conference to find out what's going on with their kids. Because if you expect your child to come home and tell you everything that went on in that classroom, I guarantee you it's going to be to their favor, to their benefit. They're not going to tell you the truth. And remember what I said up front. This is not directed toward all kids. But you parents out there, you know who you are. You know how you're teaching your kids. Your child, whether it's a boy or a girl, if they're not disciplined the right way, they are going to wind up, 1, in juvenile. 2, if they're old enough, they're going to wind up with a spin number in prison or jail. Simple as that. And if you can't take old school advice in this matter, then there's no help for you. So get ready to open a billfold up, hire an attorney or whatever you need to do, and get ready to be sued. Because that kid is going to get into some activities they shouldn't have never, ever got involved with. How do you think the gang situation got started? Think about it. I'm not going to talk you to death. I want to let you see these videos. But let's just watch the videos and you guys stay blessed, because old school feel old blood pressure is going up again, because I know the outcome of all these bad kids, the ones who think they are in charge. Let's watch the videos. You guys stay blessed.
Why they're quitting is because these kids are mean and they're making the class.
I was ready to be paid absolutely nothing. I was ready to have to figure out how to teach to a test and also to teach to my students' needs. I was ready for parents to be either accusatory, unreliable, or outright hostile. I was ready for kids to not like school and to act out in normal kid ways. And I was prepared with fidgets and natural consequences and building relationships. But the system was not prepared for the volume and the scale of behaviors that they are seeing right now. At my school, we had 1, 2, 3 levels of intervention, and every single kid, if you followed the chart, would hit the top of the intervention plan. And those interventions are so time consuming that they're not designed to be done on every single kid in a grade. And in my school, we had grades where 70-80% of the kids should have been in intensive counseling. They were sometimes active dangers to themselves and others, and you couldn't get them removed until something had happened and it was already too late. And there's 1,000,001 answers to why the kids are acting like this, but the parent reason, the one behind all of them, is both very easy and very hard to wrap our heads around. Do you remember in the beginning of the pandemic, that feeling that you had when you still had to do everyday things like go to work or go to the grocery store when the whole world was falling apart around you? Do you remember how it felt like a betrayal of your humanity in a lot of ways to go about your daily life when there were people who were suffering as much as they were? Do you think about that now? How often do you think about that? How profound of a long-term effect did it have on you? Now imagine you're 9 and your grandma in the nursing home is locked up tight and you can't go see her every Sunday like you used to. You can't go to school, you can't see your friends, you can't leave your house, but you still have to turn on your computer and do your math homework every single day. When you, a grown-up, were a kid, why did you do your work? It's because you had to, right? That was just the reality. You did it. You just did it. But that stopped being the reality for a lot of these kids for quite a long time. And then when we popped them right back in school and said, okay, now everything's good and we're going to move on, they can't deal. We can do that, but they can't. And so they're losing it because the world is losing it. Kids can't deal with cognitive dissonance like adults can, and this is how it's showing. I don't know what the answer to it is, but this is where it's coming from.
If you're a little snot that's coming to our classes to be disruptive, you might want to find someplace else to go to school, because we're going to be your worst nightmare starting right now.
Get out of my face!
Here is the latest example. A few weeks ago, middle school students sent us a video of a Brevard County bus driver yelling at kids while they asked her to let them off. The hysteria started when two kids began misbehaving. Christy Salinas says some students need better resources at school, and she believes bad behavior issues may start at home.
How many have an individualized education plan in place or have been identified for, trauma issues and are getting access to school counseling? We need to ask questions like why.
At this point, people are looking for answers, and we don't have them yet from the district.
A former English teacher going viral after posting a raw and unfiltered farewell video as she leaves the classroom behind after just 3 years. Listen.
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume. They don't care how to write a resume. They don't care how to write a cover letter, because ChatGPT will just do it for them. And I think that we need to cut off technology from these kids, probably until they go to college.
Hannah is a former teacher, and she joins us now. She posted that video. More than 1 million people have seen it.
And with AI becoming so accessible to children nowadays, especially teaching in an English or Core 4 classroom, it's been especially challenging kind of to have the kids comprehend and critical think and think for themselves on certain things.
Yeah.
So on my way out, I wanted to kind of raise awareness and just
blame the parents. Yep, blame the parents. Blame them. There is no way that I have a 7-year-old student talking back to me. I blame the parents. I blame the parents. I could never disrespect my elders, especially my teacher. What? I'll get up when I get home, okay? Blame the parents. The disrespect coming from every child, I'm talking from kindergarten to 12th grade, is bad. It's bad. It's bad. And it's the parents. I had to make multiple calls today, and thankfully there was a parent who was like, call me anytime, and I was like, you got it, because she don't play. And that's how every single parent should be. This gentle parenting skill is not working. It does not work for every child. Point blank, period. I actually should write a book about this. Now, I'm not saying go out there and start beating up your kid, okay? That's not what you're doing. But some kids need firm structure. They can't function with this, stop doing that. No. From toddlers, you allow your child to say no to you. It's a problem. That is a problem. That is a problem. Now, you have them in school thinking they could get away with these things. But I'm not the one. I'm not the one. And also, teachers need to start setting standards in the classroom and build a relationship with students. I'm not saying become best friends with the student in the classroom. But if you're having a rough year, one, you didn't build that relationship with the student from the beginning of the school year. 2, you didn't build a relationship with the parent. And 3, you only calling the parents when something bad happens in the classroom. Build those relationships. If you want to have a great year, build those relationships. Okay? That's it and that's all.
You're not gonna believe what the student did to me today at school. Disclaimer, he is not a student of mine. He is a student that was supposed to be in a class across the hall from me. This actually happened during passing period. I had just graded my students at the door, and I was speaking to another student of mine about some missing assignments that she had. She was standing right next to me. Again, we were standing still at the door. The student was in the hallway, and I was standing right by my door. when I see another student pass by me right in front of me and he goes into my class. Mind you, he is not a student of mine, so I immediately asked him to leave my class and to please go to his correct class. He knew exactly where he needed to be, and he made the choice to come into my classroom. As he is finally exiting, he decides to stop right in front of me where I'm standing at the door. And you guys already know I'm only 3 feet 3 inches tall. Now, these are students who are about to go into high school. This student is very, very tall. And he gave me no personal space. And what I mean by that was that he intentionally stood right in front of me, and we were probably about 2 inches away from him rubbing his private parts in my face. And he did this with a smirk on his face. So I know for a fact that he did it intentionally. This was no accident. He had plenty of space to walk on the side of the door, but instead he chose to stand right in front of me, look down on me, and almost rubbed his parts on me. I did not even put my hand in front of him or anything. I instead went back like this because I didn't want to be accused of me touching his parts. So instead I went like this, and the other student who was speaking to me actually told him, dude, that's gross, because she saw what happened. She was my witness. Anyways, I said a lot of things to him, and I asked him to please step away from me and to not ever come back into my classroom. He, of course, denied it and went finally into his classroom. I immediately called the teacher that I knew had him, and I gathered the information to call home. And this is why I'm making the video. It is so important that parents do their part. I want to tell you, as a teacher, I will never take time out of my day to call and lie about your child, ever. And you best believe most teachers will never do that. Okay, so if I'm taking the time out of my day to call you, it's because this actually happened. Luckily, the mom was very supportive, and she immediately called him over to the phone to apologize to me. And he still had the nerve to deny it. He said he didn't do anything, he was nowhere near me, all these stories. Luckily, I had a witness, so points for me. But mom she did the right thing of backing me up and helping him understand that what he had done was still wrong. And I praise this mom for doing the right thing and for putting him in his place, because he knew better. This is an 8th grader about to go into high school, very soon to be an adult. If he does this as an adult, he is going to end up in jail. And he is lucky that I'm not pressing charges, because that is harassment. And so I want to tell you, parents, if your child's teacher ever calls you to tell you that your son or daughter did something at school, please believe them, because we have no reason to lie. Hold your child accountable and make them realize that what they've done is wrong, and make them make it right. Because if you don't do that, if you don't take the necessary steps, when they in fact become adults, they're gonna face the harsh reality. So anyways, this has never happened to me, and I definitely submitted a report to admin, and they are handling the situation. But again, parents, do your part. This mom did her part, and I appreciate her for doing that. She is doing her son a favor by correcting him right now. He still didn't take accountability, but she at least tried. Anyway, let me know what you think about the situation. What would you have done differently, maybe? Or what would you have done if this was your child?
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume. They don't care how to write a resume. They don't care how to write a cover letter, because ChatGPT will just do it for them. And I think that we need to cut off technology from these kids, probably until they go to college.
Hannah is a former teacher, and she joins us now. She posted that video. More than 1 million people have seen it, Hannah, probably more by the time we're on this morning. Why did you post that video?
So I taught for 3 years, as I said in my video. I wasn't always a teacher. I actually started my career in digital marketing. So I've been in the digital world for about 5 years now, or since I've graduated. And Throughout the 3 years, I've taught digital arts classes and I've taught an English class, and I would say that in all of my teaching experience, technology has posed quite a challenge. And with AI becoming so accessible to children nowadays, especially teaching in an English or Core 4 classroom, it's been especially challenging kind of to have the kids comprehend and critical think and think for themselves on certain things.
Yeah.
So on my way out, I wanted to kind of raise awareness and just let people know how AI and technology is affecting their children these days.
Right. I know, coming from a mother who taught for 33 years, my sister's a teacher in South Carolina, the challenges that y'all deal with, this is even before AI was a thing. I'm sure it's even more challenging now. And clearly, your opinion is, yes, it is. You're a high school teacher. I'm sure your students loved you. We hate to see someone leave education because of problems within the classroom. Give me some examples of what the students are saying to you.
Well, a lot of students, and I do want to be clear, I taught a lot of very motivated and bright children. And so I don't want this to come off as if this is all the kids' fault. But I do know that a lot of times in my English classroom, I would ask them to write down a short response or just 5 sentences to answer a question. And a lot of times it would be about 2.5 sentences and they would say, well, I can't think of anything else to say, or, well, why do I have to answer in complete sentences? Like, you get the point from what I'm saying in just this little sentence. And then a lot of times I would assign essays, long form essays, and I know how children write, especially when they handwrite me things in the beginning of the school year. And so when a student, how I know how they write, typically would give me a very eloquently and thorough essay on a topic that I know that normally wouldn't come from them, I would ask them, was this really you? And I'd run it through an AI generator. And of course it would say 100% ChatGPT or AI. And I would speak to the student and they would more so question of, well, if I have to redo this, how much is it really going to affect my grade? Can I just take the 0?
Gosh, trying to take the easy way out. Yeah.
Right.
Is it promoting just a laziness among our children?
I suppose. And a lot of them are just feeling as though they don't really need to do the work anymore because AI will just do it for them.
Right.
And I think that AI can be in a classroom in a very effective way if we teach children in the older grades how to use it properly. But if we're allowing them this unlimited access in the classroom to use AI, they're not going to do the work themselves.
Yeah, I know you're a proponent of getting technology out of our classrooms, getting the phones out of our classrooms. I still can't believe some schools are allowing that. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry you had to leave the classroom. What are you going to do next?
Yes, well, I actually am working in a nonprofit now. I run donor relations, development, and digital marketing for them. So I'm back in what I was doing before teaching, and I'm loving it so far.
All right. Well, Hannah, thank you for giving up those 3 years. Appreciate it. We love our teachers.
After having some pretty serious conversations with the teachers on the social media sites that I post on, oh my goodness, just read some of the comments when you look at the ones I've talked about with the teachers. Oh my goodness, the teachers are fed up with your kids. They're ready to leave the industry because they cannot manage the children and they have no support in the school to help them do it. It's out of control. You've got kids climbing on top of filing cabinets and climbing all over not sitting down, not listening. It's out of control. Stop it. You're not raising your children right. You're allowing them to be undisciplined. I'm telling you, you've got to look at the thing of how is it working for you? Are they driving you crazy? Are you feeling like, I am so sick and tired of caring about how they're feeling right now. I just want them to stop screaming. I mean, seriously, I don't really love gentle parenting and I don't love FAFO parenting. There is a middle ground. There's no yelling, no spanking, but you are the leader. You have the consequences. I'm telling you, there is a middle ground. Let that go, and come over here and join us for something that does truly work. I've seen parents work on themselves first to be the leader. Then you'll be glad you did. Go ahead, comment the word training. We'll send it right over.
No, he deserved what he got. Did you hear what he said about the people, about discrimination, about the other races and other people? He deserved what he got.
So you're saying that it is okay for someone to be unalive. Like, that's okay just because their viewpoint doesn't match with your viewpoint?
I think so.
Someone should be unalive for that. So we don't care about anyone's life anymore. Any human being's life just because they have a different opinion.
Did you
than
see that cocky smirk he has on his face every time he's debating with somebody?
That doesn't matter.
He's
It's
always
a debate.
right.
It's a debate.
He
That's
thinks
what
he's
debate
always right.
is. Should we have a debate in this classroom? Should we understand what a debate is? You can have different opinions in a debate. That does not mean that someone should be unalive for having an opinion and having a viewpoint.
He's got what he
Who else
deserves.
in here? Who else in here agrees with that?
I think he got what he deserves.
No, because this is not the classroom that I want to be teaching. This is not the viewpoint of the young Americans that should be in this country. This country was built on diversity. This country was built on having opinions. This country was built on freedom of speech.
Really
What is wrong with all of you? Tell me what is wrong with all of you.
What's wrong with him?
I'm hungry. That's
He's
the
a
problem.
problem.
Yeah,
You know what? I can't teach you guys anymore.
So you quit?
I don't want to be in this America.
Want to know why teachers are starting to quit? It's really because of the expectations and how they contradict each other. Teachers are supposed to follow the curriculum, but then they're also supposed to meet all the social emotional needs of every kid in the classroom. Teachers are supposed to manage the classroom, but then they can't be too strict to kick kids out when they're not following the expectation. Teachers are told to use technology, but not so much that kids are always on their devices. Have rigor in the classroom, but not too much that kids don't have access to the learning. Be patient and be the adult, even if you're exhausted and tired of kids disrespecting you. From test scores to attendance to students not behaving in class to students not being engaged in class, it's all on the teacher. And I think teachers are tired of trying to be everything all at once, but still getting the blame for not being good enough and effective enough as a teacher. And that's why I think teachers are leaving the profession in droves. But here's something that I've learned in my 25 years of being in education. A good teacher doesn't have to be everything to everyone. A good teacher is somebody that is willing to stand on what they believe, do what they think is best for kids, and deal with the criticism that may come from that. And for me, here's 3 things that I think are very important to being a good teacher. Keep kids physically and emotionally safe in the classroom. Create a clear structure for how learning is going to happen in your classroom every day. Build trust with students and families by being clear and consistent about what it takes to be successful in the classroom. But tell me where I'm wrong.
And do not repeat after me, and do not say a word, do not call out answers.
Why?
Just like to get so much attention.
I like to get
Attention from all your teachers.
You're not one of my teachers.
No. I'll tell you a little later.
Tell me what.
Number 1, read to the 3rd power. Do not yell out any answers. I will take off your point.
That's not a question.
Number 1.
That's just an equation.
Read to the 3rd power. Number 2.
Don't write that down because that ain't even no question.
Come on, here, sir. You gonna tell me? You in my class.
For real, that ain't even no question.
Tell nobody in my class. So that's the wrong teacher.
You do.
Number 2, 19 to the 2nd power.
That's still not a question. What you finna say to me? You finna do something to me. What you about to do? What I'm gonna tell my mama for? I'm gonna hit your ass. I don't care. Make it happen. Yeah. Go and do something to me. Yeah. You talking.
Got me confused with other teachers. I'm gonna follow through.
Follow.
Number 2,
The fit gonna fall through your teeth.
Okay. You've been saying all that all these years and got beat up a couple times this year.
Yeah, just like I beat you up.
To the 2nd power.
Do not write that down because it's not a question.
That girl right there been quiet. You.
Hurt anybody else.
We don't promote violence.
I know you put stuff in my mouth.
Hey, TikTok, came home, called myself ready to get all my clothes and get comfortable. Saw this video and said, let me put a little shirt on so I can come on back in and address this. What you just saw, if you didn't watch the whole video, go ahead and watch it. I literally just came on here to say, see, this is what we are trying to tell you. These are the things that are going on in our schools, in our classrooms. And so I'll start from the beginning. What you may have missed is the young lady announced that her mama said that somebody had earned a butt whooping. That's what she said. The teacher just simply was trying to tell her violence is not the answer. Although, by the way, I am from the hood and I understand that there's a hood code. Like sometimes violence is the answer, right? Sometimes when I've been trying to tell you politely, sometimes the only way you understand is if I lay hands. And I get it. But you hear the little girl popping off just because the teacher told her violence was not the answer and that fighting is never the answer. You hear the students in the background heckling. So again, you need to ask yourselves, why? Are your teachers quitting? This is why. We are damned if we do. We are damned if we don't. This lady was in the video trying to create a safe space because we're tired of hearing these accusations of bullying left and right. And I'm not saying bullying doesn't happen, but bullying is not the complete problem of the school and the teachers. Sometimes it's y'all's kids. Sometimes your children are the problem. In this case, this young lady was talking smart. Kids in the background heckling. It's not okay for this young lady to be talking to this grown-up like they're the same age. It's not okay. And again, you have to ask yourself, where are the children learning this from? And why do they think it's okay to behave like this? And you probably need to make sure that your child is not one of the ones acting like this one in this video. Although I know for a fact some of you are in denial. Some of you will tell us, oh no, I don't allow disrespect. And your kids are downright disrespectful. So again, this is why your teachers are quitting. And some of them are not coming back.
I'm the only one in handcuffs, sir.
You got her? Yeah, I got her.
Can you talk to Miss Hollis?
I'll talk to whoever I need to in just a minute. You understand that we just saw about 8 people fighting, and I'm trying to calm you down.
I
listen to me.
Sir.
Calm down.
Yes, sir.
And just let me get myself situated.
Yes, sir. But that girl, we're leaving. And that girl, big behind girl.
It didn't look like y'all were leaving to me.
Leaving, and that girl just did that to my baby. My baby don't even go here. I came for my niece graduation. Out of all the people that were, look, that's my daughter. And I'm in handcuffs. Where's the big girl?
Y'all are all going to jail. I'll tell you that right now. You don't have to worry about that. Y'all are all going.
Can I talk to Miss Hollis?
No, you're talking to me right now. Hey, make everybody Man, what's your name?
What's her name? I got her. Renee.
Who, the white shirt?
Who the girl is that on the gate? Who one I had on the gate? No. We got her. That's crazy. She's the one that got swung on. Okay, yeah. She got swung on because I got swung on walking past her. Okay, well, what happened was, so this, the parent that you got in handcuffed and her daughter, don't worry about that. Okay, I'm gonna give you a short version. Okay, she used to go to school, and her cousin goes here. That's how they came. And you know what, Dr. Mizey, I started not to let them stay because that's. So I told her mom, I said, look, I said, get your daughter, tell her to stop. I said, delete all the photos that you got that you were sitting there recording them kids. No kids, you at their school messing with them. Right. So they have something going on outside of school. Okay. So how we find out because one of the parents who child goes here told us. So they've been going back and forth. The white bunch, the white people that just left out of here, they had got a little bit like in the midst of it through social media. Okay. So we had put the little fire out with all of them. We said, okay, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing what, we're going to keep this quiet. So when I bring her mom, I was like, this ain't a good thing. So that's why I left from right there. And I had come into the cafeteria and I stood right behind them. So then we had said, okay, parents, you all go ahead and go out first. So when the parents went out, okay, sure.
Dad was out there with the other girl. I want 4 out there. Okay, we there. Okay. Hey, Jeff, get with her, find out what transpired
what the fight, but she saw what actually occurred.
Okay.
I just want to get that. Let's start off with that.
Okay.
You want me to sit down or anything?
I got a first aid kit in my
Yeah.
office.
Okay. Right now,
Come over into the hallway, please.
Man, we got to stop yelling. Man, we got to start. You said this is your niece, correct? This is your niece, correct?
No.
All right.
I'm talking no.
All right.
I can get my kids out of here.